Hey guys, this is Dick from the Ticket Stub. This is episode 123. The show is pre-recorded and ready for broadcast on the February 27th, 2020. So I just want to give you guys an idea. This was a pre-recorded episode for Chris, Connor, and I. Hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget, enter into the ticket giveaway. We give away 2 tickets to the Grand or Amstar theaters every week. Just make sure to DM us on our social media, email us at theticketstubpodcast@gmail.com with your name and best way to contact you. And that way you're entered. I do want to remind, once you're entered for life, and we don't take your name out. So basically every week we just randomly pick a name, and you get 2 tickets. Woo! So make sure to do that. We will have an episode next week on Thursday the 5th. That's March 5th, 2020. So keep your calendars and follow us on our social media to see what we're talking about, movie news, and all that good stuff. Hope you guys enjoy today's episode, and we'll see you later.
Hello and welcome to the Ticket Stub, your favorite place for movie news and reviews. Ticket Stub comes live every Thursday, except for today. I got this stupid script. I gotta delete this thing. We're recording on a Wednesday, kind of throwing our rhythm off a little bit. But you know what?
Figure out how to do it off the cuff after doing like 123 episodes of the Ticket Stub.
I'm actually just a robot who you input program and then
it's also very early.
Well,
in
it
your
is.
defense.
Yeah,
So.
it's 9:15. I don't
Guys are a
usually
bunch
wake
of
up till
wimps,
10:30.
dude.
Yeah, your hair's still wet from the shower.
Yeah.
This morning, dude.
Bunch of wimps.
I got
That
gel, I'm
doesn't mean
looking
I haven't been up.
Yeah, chopping wood.
Yeah.
There you go.
I jogged for 3 miles this morning.
He jogged
show
here.
off.
I sure
He
did.
jogged here.
At 6 in the morning.
And then he smoked a cigar right after.
Did
I
you-
did not. No, not
How
this
come?
time.
I thought you always jogged.
It was too windy. It was too
But
cold out there.
most mornings you jog 3 miles and then smoke a cigar.
Yep.
So what's the health benefit?
It's
Everybody
not,
welcome to-
there's, I don't
welcome
think
to
there
this-
is. I
No,
don't
what
think
it
there
is
It offsets
he
the
read
cigar.
in Cigar Aficionado, if you run 3 miles, your lungs expand and you're able to take more nicotine in.
Oh, it actually helps.
So-
your
Well,
You
smoking.
don't inhale
yeah.
it.
Oh, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know. So it actually like increases your O2 max or whatever, so that you
Yes.
can get a bigger buzz off.
It
the cigar.
really gets in your system.
Nice, gets you. Well, welcome to the Ticket Stub, everybody. We are going to do some good things today. We're going to talk about the box office. We're going to talk about some movie news, and then we're going to talk about the movies that we've seen over the last week. My name is Connor, one of the hosts of the show, joined in the stew with Chris Appel. How you doing, sir?
Doing good.
Yeah, Chris is the GM of the Grand Theater. Also has a YouTube channel, Watch Me Go Broke. Check that out. Like, subscribe, smash the button. Dick, how you doing, sir?
Smash the button.
Smash the subscribe, man.
Smash it.
So that's what the kids say. That's what the youth say.
It is, but I
don't
think
know.
it's in a different context.
Are we gonna do it? Are we gonna do a cross promotion? So we'll do
For
movies.
the Democratic debate?
No, we'll
Oh.
we'll do movies about watches.
Ooh, yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there
Is
are
there-
a lot. Yeah,
No, there's not.
Yeah.
What's it? One movie about watches?
Well, not about watches.
Thank you.
Pulp Fiction.
There's watches in movies.
Watches do appear in many
Pulp
movies.
Fiction's
Yes.
about a watch. Isn't that like one of the whole storyline? Part of the storyline, he went back to get his father's watch.
That is true.
Oh yeah, it's
And then he
Christopher
ends
Walken.
up
Yeah.
almost in a gimp suit. Happens to everybody.
You know, hate it when that happens. I imagine you do some movie-related watches on your channel.
Not yet. I will.
Soon to do.
Yes,
you
I
own
will.
some James Bond watches, right?
I guess what other movies are there?
I have one. Yeah.
One. What?
What other movies use, like Agent Cody Banks uses a
Okay.
watch?
That's, Gosh, that's so
But it's all-
lame.
but
You're
why-
so lame.
But watches always had something to do with like undercover stuff. Where
It's got gadgets.
there's
and
got to be
stuff.
other things.
Well, All Is Lost, the Robert Redford movie, had a great watch in it.
Or is it
Breaking Bad?
No,
has
no, no.
watches
We're
in
not
it.
talking about great watches. We're talking about in the movie. Does a watch
The
have
watch
a role?
playing a role.
in James Bond.
Well, yeah, it's only movie, but then like Pulp Fiction literally has a whole storyline.
Well, in
about
Breaking
a
Bad,
watch.
he uses the calculator watch to
Oh,
calculate
to
meth.
calculate how much meth you need
Yeah. I
And-
have that one.
in a
from
pinch.
Breaking Bad.
No, well, not. I have the model of it. Yeah,
How much meth do you calculate with it?
enough.
Enough meth. Okay, that's good. Well,
No, there's got to be an old movie that like an '80s movie where like they had the calculator watch. It was brand new Casio, and it's like the kid figures it out.
If they remade Breaking Bad, would he have an Apple Watch to calculate his meth?
He probably would.
You think?
Well, towards the end, he didn't. He had a tag Hugh or Monaco. I think.
No,
How
what
did
He doesn't calculate it with
probably
him.
what would
He
happen-
doesn't calculate with him.
Probably what that storyline would be is he asked Siri how much XYZ.
Oh, and that's how he gets
But then
caught.
Apple is like, FBI's like, we need to know what's on his phone.
Yeah.
Listening to his data.
And Apple, of course, is like, no, I don't want to give the information.
secret.
What did he
Yeah.
ask?
You need two-factor identification.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like, well, Siri, how much meth should I sell today
To make my goal.
to make my monthly meth goal? How much should I sell? Okay, well, let's go ahead. We do want to mention the ticket giveaway. Every episode, you have an opportunity to win 2 tickets to the Grand Theater Amstar Cinemas. So make sure that you DM us or contact us on Twitter, email at theticketstubpodcast@gmail.com or at @the_ticketstub. Let's hop right into our box office wrap-up, something we started doing more regularly, where we talk about the top 5 earners over the last week. And so, Sonic the Hedgehog, number 1, not surprising because it had a pretty big opening with 50 whatever mil, and then I guess last week it did about 25 or so, give or take, something like that. 'Cause,
Last week it did like 60, I thought.
well, no, because it says second weekend. Well, how does this make sense? The first
So
weekend
it
was
made-
50.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what it said. I think that was.
I don't think that's right.
Do you have your Casio watch, your meth watch?
That's what
Because it said-
No.
Box Office Mojo said.
It said 50 something, and then this weekend was 26, and now it's a total of 106. But I
Well,
missed.
26 sounds about.
But I missed
right.
a show, Dick. There was a show that I wasn't at that y'all did with Sean K. Thompson.
Well, the only thing I can think of is they probably released it in more theater, like I don't know. That's what Box Office Mojo. They were off by like 3 million. I was
No,
like,
it was definitely a 50%.
This
at
is
least
the, this is
drop
the
off.
third weekend for. I mean, it's been out for three weeks now.
That
right?
was the second weekend.
Okay.
I think it was the
it
second.
might be
weekend.
worldwide.
Worldwide, wide. Okay, well, I don't know.
But all stats are from Box Office Mojo, which is owned by IMDb, which is owned by Amazon. So they have it right.
Yeah, the AWS is failing us right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, they're always like, "Oh, do you love Hulu or ambulances?" Thank you, Amazon. Have you seen their commercials? It's like all the different
good.
things that they own. They're going to own the world soon. It's just going to be a picture of the world, and it's going to say AWS. You're welcome. Call of the Wild, 24 million opening weekend, budget of 135. Not so good.
For us, it did really good.
Really?
Yeah, this area
So
likes
we're all
that
25
stuff.
million at the Grand Theater.
Just about, yeah. Just about.
We talked about that movie being we couldn't really tell if it was for kids or is it for like a family, because the story of it is pretty grim. If I remember the call, like I remember the story being like a suffering journey, and then
So this is the story that we know. Was this a book or a movie before?
It's a book.
Yeah. So this is that story, Call of the Wild. I don't read, so I'm not that good about books
I don't either.
book knowledge. But I like the coffee drinking in the background, Dick. It's a morning show.
it's a morning show, dude.
Okay, so that didn't do so good, but a lot in Conroe. I feel like Conroe, pretty conservative place. Those kind of family movies are kind of.
But is it a family movie?
I think so. Yeah,
Well, and
It's-
older actors like Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
those,
and,
those kind of guys.
You know,
draw.
the older folks
Well, it's
like that.
Is it like a G-rated?
It's not G-rated, no. But
Well,
It's
I mean-
actually R, hard R. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, and the dog is all CGI.
It's rated PG. For some violence, peril, thematic elements, and mild language. He's like, oh, fiddlesticks. Oh, that's a PG. Gotta give that
Yep.
one. Gotta slap that one with the old PG. Old people are like, this is kind of edgy. Back in my day, they didn't even talk in the movies. They didn't even have a talkie. They just
So
played the piano.
is this like a G-rated Revenant?
PG?
Revenant?
PG. It's PG rated.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it kind of is.
It
It's
basically
like,
is.
Yeah.
It's like
The reason
Yeah.
it's PG is because he has to cut the dog open and crawl inside it for a while. That's the
Oh,
one
I
part
can't
that
fit.
gets a little edgy. Well, he can only do like his arms for a while and then his legs for a while. You have to kind of take
Yeah,
turns,
so-
rotate.
okay.
Keep your core warm.
What's
that's
that?
all.
What's the next movie?
Birds of Prey. Okay, here we go. 24 million. So it actually had kind of a up week, it seems like. Because wasn't it?
okay, none of those numbers are right. There's no way that those numbers are right.
We need the Burris. Where's Burris at?
Yeah, I know.
No, I went to Box Office Mojo and it
You
said,
type 2020.
"Oh, it's 6.8." I don't know
yeah,
why.
there's- yeah, this is not right. Yeah.
Here,
Why don't you give us
I'll read
live
it off.
updates?
Yeah. I'll read
What's
it
Sonic
off.
the Hedgehog?
So Sonic the Hedgehog, what made? I'm gonna go to the more.
Oh, you know what you did? You checked this on like Tuesday, Dick.
Okay, so Sonic the Hedgehog made 26 million.
Okay, so that is what
for
you
this
had.
week. It's the second week, and it says total gross is 106 million. That's what it says.
I need my meth watch because that does not add
That's
up.
gonna be worldwide.
That's got to
probably.
be prestige.
And then
worldwide.
Birds of Prey made 6.8,
Okay,
and then
well,
they
is
made
it
a total.
72 total?
They made a total of 72,
That must be worldwide also. 'Cause
and then
Those
yeah.
numbers don't add up. Okay, well, you had me thinking like, oh, Birds of Prey's on the upswing here,
Yeah.
24 million. Guess not. Brahms, The Boys 2, was that actually 5.9?
I want to see that one actually.
Yeah.
Did you see the first
Well,
one?
man.
The Boy?
What is The Boy?
The
Yeah,
Boy.
it's changed.
But this
It's
doll.
changed since I last looked at this. Brahms is number 5 at 5.8 as of today.
Okay, well, maybe that's the one downside.
And that was the opening weekend.
One downside to doing this in advance. Bad Boys for Life, did it do 5 million?
That
Yeah,
sounds right.
it did 5.8.
All right, 191 total for Bad Boys. That's a pretty good.
really good,
That's a
yeah.
pretty good return for a
really good.
February. I guess it was kind of a January movie.
Well, it made a
actually.
total of a 191, which to me,
I just said.
I was thinking about compared to the budget. That meant 100 million.
Yeah, that's like pretty good actually, right? That's what me and Chris
Is-
we were having. Yeah, we're talking. About
I wasn't
that.
listening.
Yeah, I know you weren't. Yes. Backtrack.
I'm trying to see what else I got
is this?
wrong.
Impractical Jokers. Did they have a movie?
Yes,
Yeah.
they do, and we're actually getting it.
Oh, my God.
Friday. I'm excited. I think those guys are really fun.
They are funny, but what could possibly translate to a theatrical release from what they do?
What does translate to
Is
a
it just-
theatrical release nowadays?
Is it? Just their stuff, like over the course of a film?
I guess.
It says
Yes, it is.
The
yeah.
story of a humiliating high school mishap from 1992 that sends the Impractical Jokers on the road competing in hidden camera challenges for the chance to turn back the clock. So it's just a long episode.
Pretty
basically.
much, yeah.
It must be
What
nice.
do you think-
These people who like work their entire lives to craft this artfully made film, and then these guys, no, they probably aren't going to make very much money, but they just like are already.
Well,
doing-
they opened in 357 theaters with $2 million.
Well, that was maybe a little,
pretty good.
probably a little test, right? That opening right there, Chris.
Yeah, I think the studio decided to go wide release with it this week.
So I mean, honestly, the budget for that must have been like $5 million or something. Like they paid each of those guys,
Probably.
Gave them each a good paycheck, and then you had to have some crew to follow them around or whatever. They already have the staff to make the TV show. It's probably the same exact people.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
They probably filmed it just at the same time they were doing the
they just-
show and just like, hey, we're just going to release this one.
hey, we're just not going to edit it, okay? It's just going to be
Yeah.
all the raw footage of a normal.
Actually,
episode.
I was listening to a podcast with Joe, whatever, one of the guys, and he was talking about when
Joe
they
Fangiola. No.
yeah, when they filmed it, it was completely separate
Oh, okay.
because they were doing the cruises and stuff because they do the comedy and practical cruises
they?
and stuff.
Yeah, their stage show.
And-
Better watch out. You're going to get pranked on those cruises.
Yeah, and they talked about how when the movie idea came out it was something where like one of the guys wanted to take a break, so in order to take a break, they had to do something either like 20 episodes in a row or someone goes, "Hey, why don't you make a movie?" That way you don't have to work the 9 months out of the year. We'll just work the 6 or whatever, and we can take a break. I mean, that's basically where I understood why they made the movie.
Sounds good. Take a break, probably make more money than you normally would make. So not too shabby for these guys.
They were in an improv group all together. That's where they kind of started.
Okay.
It was called the Tenderloins.
oh,
Yeah.
Tender
Anyways, some trivia there for you.
Entendres. Yeah, that's good. Upcoming movies, February 28th. Invisible Man.
Yeah, somebody knows something about that movie that I don't know because we're
What do you
getting a tremendous
Hot take.
amount of
Hot
copies.
take.
What do you mean? I mean like multiple screens?
Yes.
Like what's a like you only have 14 theaters, so what's a tremendous? Oh, sorry, Chris is dying of a heart attack right now. Are you okay?
I'm getting 4 of those.
Okay, so that's a tremendous amount to get 4.
4 heart attacks?
For 4 Invisible Mans.
Okay, 4 chambers of the heart are all clogging at the same time.
The lack of cigar, your body's like, what happened to it, man?
Well, it's got Offred in it. Do y'all watch Handmaid's Tale?
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, you're back.
I'm back.
You're back.
Well, it's a
Blumhouse.
Bloomhouse movie. What's that from?
He's just
Chris Farley.
yeah,
Oh.
reviving
I
himself.
thought he was stabbing himself.
No, okay, come on, dude. So somebody thinks this is gonna be big. Okay, he's dead again. All right, well, it was a good while after.
Yes. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the tracking is on
The
it.
budget was only $7 million. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. It's got Offred. That's all I know.
I was reading a funny review. Basically, they're saying this takes the Me Too thing to the next level
Oh, what's the next level?
because he's invisible.
Yeah.
Oh, he can Me Too people and like no one. It's always like back when we were like in junior high, and it's like if you could either if you could stop time or be invisible in those
You
movies.
keep going. I'm going to get this out.
Ooh,
Whatever it is.
they didn't point him down.
Let's just narrate play by play. So Chris is walking
What's
away.
interesting to
he's
me
going
about
out the
this, you
door.
said it cost $7 million. I guarantee you that leading actors from Handmaid's Tale made a back end deal where
Yeah, she
she gets
percent.
Yeah,
Yeah, because if this is going to be huge, yeah, you don't want $4 million. You want 10% or 5% or whatever of the net.
Well, I mean, I can't. That was kind of the joke. I was reading some stuff about the J.J. Abrams and Star Wars and how he put all of his old school buddies in the movie and how much money they got paid, and that was kind of the running joke. Was he probably just approached them and said, "Hey, you want to get points instead of getting paid?
Give me some points."
Because everyone's going to be seeing this movie, and we're all going to be sharing $1 billion.
Yeah. Well, it's a horror movie. It looks. I mean, the poster's cool. It's got her face halfway lit up. Invisible Man, pretty good. But yeah, like in junior high, you hear about like Invisible Man or Stopping Time, and the first thing people do is go like pull everyone's pants down or whatever. I mean, it's like, what's that movie where they're in the supermarket and they they do that? Anyways.
Well, no, there was that's Time Stop. The movie you're talking about.
Creative name.
Remember the Kevin Bacon version?
Yeah. Hollow Man.
Am I remember correctly that when he did the drug stuff, did it make him crazy, or was he already crazy prior to that?
Is that what made him evil? I can't really remember.
Because I remember watching it, and I was like, I got really confused because he just started doing bad stuff, but he seemed like such a nice guy before. And I'm like, you don't just become
he
that.
Was hollow on the inside.
Yeah, I mean,
okay?
I guess.
Yeah, there was a void he needed to fill. So it was hollow. Chris, you alive?
Yeah.
Are you trying to... What the hell?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. He went and got a tracheotomy while he was...
Yeah, sorry guys.
I mean, I look rough right now because I just woke up.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what's happening.
I got the look and the sound. Okay, I'm the only one here. Yeah, Papa Mint. Okay, barely
There we
can
go.
do that.
well,
Hand-eye coordination.
You deal with kids, so you're probably like up and at them at...
Woo, yeah.
Five.
This is the
4 a.m.
beginning of the coronavirus right here.
I'm great. Yeah, don't even say that. We're gonna get
ground zero here.
We're gonna get
Actually, we can
quarantined.
talk about that. We can segue that into... I didn't put the article in, but they're talking about how many movies are being delayed now because they're not canceling anymore. They're not canceling the China release of movies.
Oh, they're just delaying
They're
them.
just delaying them. And it's kind of funny to me because this virus is going out from China.
Yes.
So it's going to get
Well, Trump said it's going to be done by April.
Well, I mean, yeah. Like
Is that what he said?
I think so. Well, that's what the Democrats said that he said, or somebody said he said that.
Well, because Holly was telling me about it, she's like, this has a potential of really shaking up different areas, like highly populated areas, because her dad is already on some cases in California, and when people don't
You see that movie Contagion? I feel like we should all study that.
Well, this morning the news said that, or the CDC was saying that it's unavoidable that the United States does not have an outbreak of it. So.
It's unavoidable that the United States.
Well, they're
does
talking
not.
about
So we will
like
have an
some
outbreak.
movie,
Yes,
a lot of
I
negative,
worded that
a lot of
weirdly,
negatives.
like some movie productions being shut down, and I mean, I think it's going to affect a little bit of the movie world. Just
Do you think that the Corona beer company paid on the front? Like, if you were a company and you knew there was a new pandemic plague coming, would you try to associate your name with it for brand recognition?
No, I don't think so. That'd probably not be a
But
good
just think
idea.
if you were Corona beer, how many times has the word Corona been said in the last 2 months? Thousands. That's free advertising. No press is good is bad press, right?
well, the unfortunate thing on
you
the
can have the
SEO side,
Heineken virus.
it's just not spelt the same, so when people search it, I mean, I'd be interested to see
Bad SEO.
Let's see the Google trend of Corona.
Yeah,
Because people don't know how to spell like the actual virus
you
name.
have the Dr. Pepper virus coming out next, and yeah, sure. People don't want to think about a deadly virus when they think of your product, but it is some free publicity. I'm just saying, if you're a major company listening, you might want to.
Yeah, it jumped.
What? How do you search the searches or whatever?
You just go to Google Trends, trends.google.com.
Oh,
Tuberculosis.
So
Yeah,
brought to you
right
by
there, right in January 12th.
Johnson & Johnson.
It went up.
Which one?
Significantly. The word, the beer Corona, the word Corona.
spelled.
Like I said,
Hello. Okay, ticket stub virus. Can we get the next one?
How do you spell the virus?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I bet people.
I thought it was spelled just like the beer.
Nah.
But you're saying search for Corona beer went up.
Well, I guess it's all
Or just
one
the word
word.
Corona.
So yeah, it's all one word. Coronavirus.
Well, for sure, the word coronavirus has been searched more in the last 2 months than ever before because
Yeah.
it didn't exist before.
So it's
Hey,
spelled,
you know,
it's
we
spelled
should-
the same, but it's one word. So it's not
Gotcha.
Corona space virus.
We
it's
should tag this
coronavirus.
episode in coronavirus. We'll get,
Heck
they
yes.
get a lot
All
more
right,
views.
We're for sure doing that. And
Yeah.
we're actually talking about it, so it's honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to tag Corona beer and coronavirus because we're talking about both things. But yeah, ticket stub virus coming up next virus. It's like hurricanes. If there was Hurricane Chris,
Hurricane Stubby.
hurricane. But don't people nominate their name to be a hurricane? Am I making that up?
No. Yes, you are making that up.
Oh, okay. Well,
cool.
On the movie Armageddon, back to movies. Remember when he finds the asteroid and they're like, okay, well, whoever finds it gets to name it. And he's like, I want to name it Dottie after my wife. And she was like, oh, he's like, because it's a cold, heartless piece of rock that you can't escape death or something like that.
What a classic.
Armageddon is so good. All right, let's talk about movie news. We got some articles here we're gonna go through. Alamo Drafthouse unveils monthly subscription service. All right, so Dick, tell us a little bit about this.
Well, they're trying to do what AMC and everybody else is doing, but what's interesting...
Kind of like what does AMC call it? The pass?
Stubs.
Stubs.
Yeah.
So the season pass will cost between $14 to $30 per month, depending on how often you want to go. But what's interesting is if you attend a movie, you have to pay a surcharge of $1.99 per ticket.
What?
So
that's only for premium, though, right?
That's yes, and then there's a service fee on top of that. What I've learned.
Okay.
So I think it's like $1.20.
So it's not really a great deal necessarily.
Well, I mean, how much are tickets for Alamo Drafthouse is? I mean, I imagine like $13 or something like that.
10 to 12.
So if you see more than,
Yeah, I mean, it definitely would. The one thing that this is a good idea, and Chris, run this up the old grand ladder. The one reason why this is a good idea is because it creates theater loyalty. Like, for me, I'm kind of a theater polygamist, okay, and so I'll go to the Grand. That's my main theater, but I'll go to Tinseltown, the Woodlands. I'll go to the new AMC. A lot of it depends on showtime. I mean, honestly, convenience and showtime is a big part of it all. But if you were part of this Alamo Drafthouse membership club, the chances of you going to the theater down the street are a lot less because you've already paid. I'm sure that's what AMC. I mean,
sure,
it just makes sense. It's gonna.
So what it looks like?
Well, Alamo Drafthouse is a different animal, really. I mean, they're not really necessarily competing with regular movie theaters.
Not really, yeah, because I would say a lot of their cycle is completely random.
Mm-hmm.
Like they might half the theater might be occupied towards new movies, but the other part is like
it's like
what's John want to play,
Yeah.
And it's like
what's that weird movie where you dress up and bring squirt guns and stuff? And you talk through it the whole time. The weird cross-dressing movie with
Rocky Horror.
Yeah, Rocky Horror. Stuff
Actually,
like
it's playing down the street right here.
Is it really? Where?
It's a play.
Oh. I've noticed.
But so what's interesting
This
is
time of year?
I guess it's a play.
Wow.
So
It's not a February play to me.
The only information I've seen they released is the $30 price tag is for bigger areas like New York and Los Angeles, and the $15 price tag is going to be designated to the smaller markets.
Like Paris, Texas will get the $15.
Do they have an Alamo Drafthouse?
I'm sure they do not.
I'm sure they probably will because it's so meta, Because they're gonna be like, because that excellent movie made in the early '90s, late '80s, Paris, Texas. Is like we're gonna have a theater that it's so
Heck
meta.
yeah! All right, next article: HollywoodReporter.com. Mulan. We're gonna get a little.
They got the
extra
coronavirus.
skin or something like that. Ooh, that's a good point. Luckily, this got made before the corona broke out. Mulan receives the first.
Disney. That's probably why that dude stepped down.
Which one?
That Bob Iger.
He stepped down?
He stepped down.
In the last 3 days?
Yeah, that's probably why he stepped down.
I didn't even know.
They're going to get hit really hard. And he's like, I don't need that black mark on my resume.
I had no idea. I just heard a podcast with him talking all about Disney. And
there's no way.
Bob Iger to step down at Disney effective immediately.
Yeah.
Wow.
He must have Me Too'd or something.
He got invisible, man.
Yeah, seriously. I mean... Okay, we'll have to
this is a different story.
I know, but you're blowing my mind right now.
Something's going on with that.
I bet I would not doubt. Honestly, I would not doubt is they did a projection of the coronavirus affecting their world market.
No, they did not.
I'm totally serious. This is affecting the movie industry in a way we don't know.
If you loved your CEO,
no, he left.
Oh, step down.
Yeah, he goes. I don't want to deal with the backlash of this.
Of the Me Too, I just did probably.
Well, I mean, you're always going to the negative. I'm talking about he's probably just
the positive is the coronavirus.
Yeah, he's like we're gonna our sales are gonna be down, and I don't want my name to be associated with
Except for he just did Disney Plus, and they're making like $1 trillion a year. There's okay, we'll need to go to break or something.
That's my conspiracy theory.
All right, Mulan released. So they got the first PG-13 rating for the Disney live-action remakes.
That's not surprising though, because
it's
kind of
like
hard.
A little, they walk in and she's like, "Oops," like a little.
I think it's gonna be violence.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, you think?
Yeah, just a hunch.
There's all
those scenes of her like having to
correctly,
ace bandage her, her chest and stuff, so that it didn't show she was a girl.
Was that in the cartoon?
Yeah, she wrapped it.
Oh.
The cartoon. I want to say there's at least 2 big battles.
Yes.
where like one's a full on like horses and you're killing, you're chopping, and the other one's like up in the mountains
where they're shooting all those little like ball rockets off at them. Yeah.
And then so I mean I imagine that's gonna be, you got to show something during that.
Some beheadings.
Yeah.
Well, plus the Huns. I mean, you got to imagine how terrible they were probably like peeling people's skin off and stuff.
Yeah, but that's
life.
not written into the script.
It might be.
They're just going to be
PG-13.
grunting. They're just going to be grunting. Like,
yeah, it's like the orcs. There's going to be the orcs they're just going to take clips from Lord of the Rings of the orcs all lined up and then just splice it into
I just think it's such a crazy move that they got rid of the dragon.
Did they really?
Yeah.
So who's her like friend or whatever?
I don't think she's not. She's probably going to have those 3 dudes.
Oh, that's lame.
So
just put the dragon in there.
Well, I wonder if that's like, they have that meeting where it's like, what do we want to keep in the real remake or the the non-animated remake, and what do we not want to keep? And someone's like, oh,
it is interesting that they would do it this way because generally with Disney, it's a safe bet. You can bring your kids, but this is a PG-13, and I can see some parents, depending on what the content is, being frustrated and taking their kids out of it when they're watching it. So, interesting choice.
Especially the skin peeling scenes.
Yes.
When the Huns are peeling all the skin off.
And they hang them upside down like a predator.
The Mulan audience, to me, is exactly a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Like, that's who that show is.
Well, that there's going to be like the member berries of the 30-year-olds.
Well, yeah, but still, if you're trying to release a movie to make as much money as possible, I think it's going to do fine. Because I think even the mothers and fathers who are going to take their 12-year-old girl or whatever, they're going to be like, all right, let's go see this movie. It's Mulan. It's Disney. They're not going to portray us and show us skinning of heads. And
unfortunately, you're probably right.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Oh, here we go.
This movie is the lowest grossing Disney movie.
Ever? No.
Okay, that's too bold. Bring it back a little bit.
Of the last 10 years.
Of all the remakes?
Wow.
I honestly, I think you might be right. It just depends on the reviews. But, I mean, you can't go wrong with this stuff. Because really what hurt Beauty and the Beast, it was just poorly executed. So no one really knew. Everyone loves Beauty and the Beast. But when the movie was released, everyone's like, meh. Like, it wasn't.
Does that not do well in the theaters?
It did well, but it didn't project where it's like, hey, we're going to make crazy amounts of money.
Well,
they made
the
good amount of money.
What is the difference between this movie and like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? Really? I mean, in terms of
the
what?
entire story.
Yeah, I know.
Besides the entire story, and they're not like probably flying
as far
around
as
on
like
ropes.
the genre.
That's the most racist thing you've ever said on this show.
No,
Chris.
that's
not
Just
racist.
because they're Asian.
That's not racist.
That's not what I mean.
We're
but
at hashtag.
but what I mean is, what was the last like Asian film? Because even though this is an American, film,
Parasite.
Yeah, that's Korean, and that's not the same.
Still Asia.
Asian.
That didn't do anything at the box office. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, so what is the last successful like Asian martial arts movie that did anything at the box office?
The Raid.
I'm not positive that this is the
Raid.
The Raid did not
Raid
do
did well
at the box office.
I don't even know what that movie is. I doubt it did that well.
I'm not sure that this is going to be
You
a
live
martial
in-
arts movie, though, right?
No.
No,
You said martial arts
You know what I
movie.
mean? The Asian combat genre. Well, but what I'm saying is like I don't know.
Okay, but also this has the weight of a Disney franchise behind it.
But what is it comparable to? I guess is what I'm saying. I can't think of a film that was successful that is like this movie. So we're gonna have to really see.
I guess we'll see. It's uncharted territory.
Yeah.
When will my reflection?
I mean, I can see where you're going with what you're trying to talk about, and I think there is. They had those Chinese produced movies that had like Matt Damon in it, and then like John.
Oh, The Great
Cusack.
Wall?
Yeah, so like
You mean that film
Oh,
masterpiece?
that did fantastic.
That movie was so terrible.
so that counts.
I believe
right?
people went to it, but that was awful.
And then you had Hero, and you had all those.
No, it didn't do fantastic.
Oh, okay, good,
It
'cause
did
it was
I
not.
know
awful.
Hero did well,
What
but
is
that was an older movie. That was a Jet Li
Hero.
movie that was completely produced in China. I think that movie came out like right after it was either Lethal Weapon 4 or like whatever his big American debut was. That movie came out afterwards. But
Look up the gross of that.
Shanghai
Hero?
Noon.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that was like a strong 19 million.
Are you trying to be Burris now? I feel like you're trying to be Burris. over
No,
here.
I'm not. I'm just saying I don't know if America gets this.
Maybe not.
I guess is what I'm saying.
Except for it's Disney. That's the only thing that I
it
would say.
opened with 17 million, and then worldwide
Not too bad. Not too bad.
worldwide it made 177 million, and then domestically here in the U.S. it made 53.
Which movie is this?
This is Hero.
Which is
Oh, there's no
successful.
way-
I mean,
yeah.
that's successful, but that's
Dick,
not.
sometimes you get a little echo chamber with the movies that you love, and you assume that they were like you probably really liked that movie.
No, actually I didn't.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to follow what he's trying to say. Where
Well, me too, except for I don't know what he's talking about. So that's the only difficult part.
because there's
He's saying that Asian movies don't do very well in America.
I think
I'm technically yes. I don't know of a film that's
well, see, one
comparable
thing
to
that's
this.
different where you're trying to approach it from is Mulan isn't. I wouldn't even say that it's an Asian-made movie.
It's not
because there's
No,
no,
no, no, it's
subtitles.
not.
There's nothing, and they're like that's the biggest difference because people didn't like Hero as much because it was all subtitles, and people that you lose like half your audience that generally just spends money.
I ain't
because
gonna go pay money to
Yeah.
read.
No, really, that happens. I mean, I guarantee you that happens. And the Mulan thing, it has such. That was at the very tail end of Disney's successful animated run. That the average age who fell in love with it then has to be like, I would say 30 to 37 today. That's the average age of person who watched Mulan as a little girl or little boy or whatever and fell in love with it. That's why I think they should have kept the dragon because that's all I remember. I liked the dragon.
I think that you won't see them do this again.
What do you
A
mean?
live action remake.
Well, no. Live action remake, yes, but
A
not
PG-13?
being the original stuff like with songs and things like that. I don't,
No,
I don't see them doing
I
that
bet
again.
they have the songs in it. Like if they
No,
left,
they don't.
if they
None of the songs?
if
None
they
of, there's
left
no
Man
songs
at-
in this at all.
Are you serious?
No, there's no songs.
Oh, now I'm out.
Ooh, yeah,
It's
I'm out.
straight up.
that's gonna hurt it.
Yeah, there's no songs in this at all.
Because isn't that a really great song, "Make a Man Out of You"? Is
Yeah.
a great
Let's get
empowering
down to
women
business.
song.
There's no, it's not a musical. It's just a straight up drama.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty much waffling on this.
Do you
now.
think that's because a lot of the music in the original doesn't fit in the world market?
Well, I think We're Gonna Make a Man Out of You probably doesn't hold up very well in today's time. I would think.
Because I
So
remember
that's probably why they would, change
you-
that.
What about
particular
"When Did
thing.
My Reflection Show"? Remember the Christina Aguilera
Yes,
song?
I know, yeah.
yeah,
They
because
should do that.
there's Reflection, "Make a Man Out of You," "A Girl Worth Fighting For."
Yeah, that's a good one.
So do you think they?
Some
What do you think was an internal reason
They'll
to change
have
it, or
music,
was it a
though.
money reason to change it?
No, it wasn't money.
I think it was an iffy.
They're trying
Yeah.
to. They're trying to.
And it was executed, okay for the '90s, but now I just don't know.
Maybe they're trying to branch out where it's not everything is just for kids, but it's more like this is a movie for teenagers and above. We want it to be dramatic.
I
we
just
want it-
don't see them going to see this at
Maybe
all.
this is why Bob Iger stepped down. You think?
No.
He sees how this flop is. No, I'm just kidding. Of course not.
They probably have a tape of them talking about.
Well, when we say
Asian
flop,
movie.
I mean, when you say flop,
They hear him saying what Chris was all
Yeah.
just saying.
when you say flop, this is a solid, 40 to 50 million opening, I would think, but that's not in the
Gosh, you're Mr. Box Office. all of a
major
sudden.
realm.
Have you
Well,
been
no, I'm
studying?
not. No, it's a little earlier in the morning, so I'm a little more alert.
Okay,
No,
that's good. That's
he's
normally by 11,
right. I
you're
mean,
like,
because
yeah.
what happens, what's going to
Half
end up
it.
happening with Disney and the bigger players like Marvel is that they make so much money in their successful movies. When they release a movie that makes half of it,
It's like a flop.
it's a flop to them.
Yeah, even though it still
And-
made 150 million or whatever.
But I also think Disney's too big to fail when it comes to hiring people and the reputation. Like, even if it's a flop, people got paid really well, and that movie
it doesn't matter at
That
all,
movie
yeah.
has a value to their catalog, and it's not like they try to make it disappear. Kind of like that. My favorite thing reading about Brie Larson, like I think it was right after Captain Marvel was made. There was a movie she was in. They released. So they filmed it like 3 or 4 years before, but it's like a horrible chick flick that has like really bad themes in it that compare to the Me Too kind of stuff, and it's like they try to bury it because she didn't want to be associated with that kind of style of writing and stuff. And it's like, but the Disney doesn't do that really with their stuff. I think they learned their lesson with that what was it, that Crow animated show they
Song of the South.
Song of the South.
They should do that one. Just remake that, and it's all serious. It's a hard R.
Yeah, no songs.
Yeah, no songs.
Well, so this is kind of a mini rewind, but I recently watched the Aladdin movie on Disney Plus, the remake, and when that was coming out, there was no bigger hater of that than me as far as the preview and the trailer and the poster and
Well, Guy
Will
Ritchie is
Smith.
just so good at telling the
Yeah,
story
well.
of a Saudi Arabian.
Yeah.
thief, street rat.
Street Rat. But I will say, I actually liked it quite a bit. It had some funny parts. It was pretty entertaining.
Can you imagine that movie without the songs?
Oh, it'd be terrible. And that's what I was about to say. That's the reason I bring it up.
I don't believe you about this song stuff.
It's not in there. Look it up.
I don't believe you.
The reason I bring that up is because the songs are part of what made it good. No, they did their
wow,
own.
you're right.
It's the same with Beauty and the Beast. Like, they do their own versions of the songs. And in Aladdin, they actually added like 2 songs that weren't in the original that made it a little bit more girl powery. Like, they gave Jasmine a couple songs where it was all about her, like, it's time for me to stand up, or whatever else, and or stop being quiet about everything. That's not how the song went, but that was like the point. Yeah, it's girl power, man. And so, they added that, which is fine. Nobody cares if you add a song or two, but they want to hear "You Never Had a Friend Like Me," and they want to hear,
A whole new world.
Riff Raff Street Rat. And
Well,
a
I
whole
mean,
new
half
world.
of the Genie's dialogue are the songs.
Yeah. And so,
So-
and they kept all that in there. And, it wasn't, the songs, in my opinion, weren't as good as the original, of course, because it's like when you have this super iconic thing, it's almost impossible to ever have anything that's even close to as good. But having the songs in there at all tied the people who, like my age and older, tied it to the original. The young kids who've seen the original still like it. And it's a live action. So it's cool to see, like, a cartoon, you can just do whatever you want. So live action, you actually have to live kind of within the real world. Yeah. And so it was cool to see how they created stuff.
Well,
So
I
that's
mean,
my
because
2 cents.
that's what got me
So
about.
suck it, Mulan.
Well, that's what gets me about the Mulan and those kind of remakes. Is the costume design to me is way too overdone to the point where I feel like I'm watching it at Disney World on stage, and it's meant to just remind you what it kind of looked like in the cartoon.
Yeah.
But they went too much detail and they didn't do the real look of it.
Yeah.
Because like Aladdin, like his hat, I remember watching it and I was like, his hat's too clean. Like, this dude's a street rat.
Yeah.
Like, why is his hat so clean?
I don't buy that.
Yeah.
All right. I will say the Prince Ali scene when he comes in, that was pretty cool. Like the way they did all. I mean, it was unbelievably. Whoever's choreographing that, like, it seems like a logistical nightmare, but they did a good job. All right, let's hop into our rewinds. Yeah, woo, woo. We need like a theme, like rewind. Can you just clip that and then play it every time when we're gonna do our rewind?
Are we gonna do like a Skrillex remix, or are we gonna do like a Daft
Punk? I'm thinking more, more Daft Punk with.
I'm thinking we
with
should
Timbaland.
do '90s Disney animated movies, so it's more of like a stage song.
Okay, well, you did Shaft, so that's kind of like a '90s Disney movie, right?
No, it's 2019.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2019.
The new
Well, tell us a
Shaft.
little bit about new Shaft.
The new Shaft. It's available right now on HBO streaming. It was released in June 14th, 2019. What's funny about this is it was paid for by Netflix, but they released that internationally on Netflix and it was released here in the theaters. It's directed by Tim Story. It stars the original cast of the 2000 Shaft and then some other folks, from other stuff.
Who've acted
The
in
director,
other things.
the director has some interesting movies. He did the 2005 Fantastic Four. He did Barbershop. He did the notoriously horrible Taxi with Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah.
Why is she a queen?
Because I think that's her stage name.
I know, but I mean, I guess you just get to pick whatever
you know what
want.
happened? She got right in front of that cross-dressing stuff, so like she got to keep it.
Oh,
and so now,
now you couldn't be queen.
yeah, if she came out with that, people would be really confused.
That's true.
And
But isn't Beyonce Queen Bee?
Well, but that's not her name. I mean, you don't ever just call her Latifah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So the movie is J.J. Shaft, a cybersecurity expert.
although her first name could be queen.
with a degree from MIT, enlists his
Maybe.
family to help uncover the truth behind his best friend's untimely death. So basically, this movie takes Shaft has a son, and in the storyline, the girlfriend or
Shaft
wife at the
Jr..
time,
What's his son's
Shaft
name?
Jr. Basically, it's J.J. Shaft, played by
Oh,
Jesse.
J.J. Shaft,
Yeah,
okay.
played by Jesse T. Usher, and
Is that
the
Usher's
mom at the
son?
time felt Shaft's lifestyle was too dangerous, so she left
So
him.
ridiculous.
She basically took the son and abandoned him. So Shaft abandoned his son, of course. And now in the future, or in the present day, we got grown-up Shaft Jr. doesn't know who his dad is or anything.
No Papa Shaft.
So no Papa Shaft, no Grandpa Shaft, because Richard Roundtree is actually in this from the original 1978 Shaft.
Oh, that's John Shaft Sr.
Yeah, it's John Shaft. Yes.
So John Shaft was a junior.
yes. Or yeah. So I guess the third.
So J.J. Shaft is like Trey.
He's-
you
yeah.
could go by Trey if you wanted.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to be doing. So this movie, I enjoyed the dialogue because I enjoy Shaft because Shaft has a lot of attitude and swagger to it. And so and one thing I liked is they made fun of the current PC kind of atmosphere because Shaft Jr. is giving his son, the Shaft Trey, a hard time because Shaft Trey is completely opposite of Shaft. He hates guns.
Oh,
He's a nerd. He doesn't disrespect women. And all that kind of stuff.
What's square? Am I right, guys?
There really is some great dialogue between them because his dad basically is just making fun of him.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson is just
because he's like a guy from the 70s.
He's just like he does what he wants, and he's
son. Did I just see you respect that woman? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What are you, lame?
And I would say this is a great B- movie. It's really easy to watch. It's not complicated. There's some ridiculous moments, but then again, it's a Shaft movie.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've ever seen the original Shaft. It's really good.
I don't know if I ever have seen the original Shaft.
It's a lot of fun. What I like about these kind of movies is they know what they are. They're going to have fun with it. So some of the scenes are just going to do over the top, and I dig that. And
how many? Was there more than one original Shaft?
There was 3 original. I think they did a 2-year release between '78 and then there's like Shaft and the Shaft went to Africa. I remember that it was like something like that, and then because what happened with the original
was
Shaft
Samuel L.
movies,
Jackson in everyone? Was he always Shaft?
This is back because the original Shaft was 1971. Sorry, that's when the first one came out.
Because there was one in 2000.
That was the reboot they tried to attempt, and this is a continuation of the 2000 because they're all canon. They're all part of the same deal, and. But it definitely still had that same feel, which I think is kind of hard when you take that big of a gap break between the movies. Because the original Shaft...
So Richard Roundtree is the original Shaft. But now he's Shaft Sr.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I dig it. I think they I don't know how you can execute it as like a Bond kind of film where you can release one every 3 years or, just have fun with a good storyline.
It would have to make money. In order for that to happen.
Yeah, this movie I think would hurt it a lot because the budget was 30 million and the gross USA was 21. I think the problem was Netflix didn't spend a budget on it to promote it because they basically what happened was they didn't release it anywhere else.
They just wanted
Is it on Netflix currently?
No. It's on HBO right now. That's what I'm saying. So the way they distribute it was really odd. Basically, in the US market, it was distributed through like New Line or something.
That's what's funny.
Anything outside, it's on Netflix.
That's what's funny is like all this distributing stuff. Like US is one thing, and then international is a whole. Like so, it could be a Netflix-owned property that HBO has in America. I mean,
that's what I think hurt it because if you do that, they're not going to spend money on the overall global advertising of it. And
do you know what the tagline for Shaft in Africa is?
Please tell me what is it.
The brother man in the motherland. Shaft is sticking it all the way.
Wow. And the tagline for this movie is there's more Shaft than you can handle. And I'm telling you, like, these are fun movies.
That is an
They're
entendre.
very adult. There's rated R. Like, it is definitely I would say it's definitely a guy movie. Holly enjoyed it after I told her, like, it's a joke.
Oh, okay.
Because she's like, oh, man, this guy's really offensive. Like, the first time you see Shaft in this movie, he opens the door to meet his son. And they never really met before. He had glitter all over his face.
Oh my gosh!
And you're like, that's kind of weird. Why does he have glitter? And then you see there's other person in there, and you're like, man, this movie's going for it. I dig it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's that kind of humor, and it's definitely you have to look at it like that kind of stuff. You can't take it serious, especially with the son. The son is just so poorly written, where he gets drunk fighting, like
drunk fighting.
Yeah, he gets him drunk, and the son is like still able to beat a dude up. He's like, yeah, I learned how to drunk fight or dance drunk fight. Brings it out of me. I'm like, what the heck is going on with this character?
I wonder if Bob Iger was behind this, and that's why he had to step down from Disney.
Well, that's going to be the closing tagline. But again, it's if you like the Shaft movies, you're going to like this one. It might not be the top one. I think the 1971 version you definitely need to check out if you're a big movie person because that changed that era. I guess the word was I can't pronounce it.
Blaxploitation?
Yeah, Blaxploitation was like one of the first. And then I liked it because it was just, it's cool to see a movie like that have, like, I would just call it like an edge or swagger or something like that, where it's like they changed it up a little bit to where it's really more enjoyable because of the way they added so much to it.
Well, cool. On HBO streaming, if anybody wants to check that out.
Yeah.
Chris and I are going to tag team. Give me 5 up top. Boom. The movie Us from 2019.
I'm going to get coffee because I don't need to listen to this.
Wow, that's kind of rude.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Us came out in 2019. This is Jordan Peele's follow-up to
Get Out.
Get Out. Thank you very much. He likes the short titles, Get Out, Us. But this is a
You know, it
family-
wouldn't be funny if more movies he made and it ended up making a full sentence.
That would be cool. Yeah. Get out, us. Where are you? I don't know. So let's see. A family's serene beach vacation turns to chaos when their doppelgangers appear and begin to terrorize them. So I will say that I saw several trailers for this. It looked creepy AF, if you will, and I never wanted to see it. And then one day, finally, me and Lindsay couldn't decide on what to watch. We'd been seeing it on HBO over and over and over again as the
It's either Ma or this, huh?
Yeah, well, Ma, we actually did watch Ma one time, which was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my entire life. But this, I was finally like, and Lindsay doesn't really like scary movies that much because they are scary. I don't really like them that much because mostly I think they're dumb. But I like Jordan Peele. I like Get Out so much. We finally decided, like, okay, let's watch it. And, you know, overall take, it was really interesting, pretty good. That's what I would say. Really interesting, pretty good. It was different than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be more suspense around the. I mean,
it wasn't scary.
it wasn't scary almost at all. There was a few moments where maybe it could kind of jump at you a little bit, and there was a couple moments that were creepy. I mean, there was some creepiness.
No head skinning.
No, unfortunately, no
Man.
head skinning. The way that people talked and moved was probably the creepiest part. The doppelgangers. I mean, so it's like they never learned how to speak, and so when they would, only one of them could talk. She would talk like that. You know, she reminded me of. You remember on the movie Galaxy Quest when like the weird aliens
Yeah.
would talk? That's
Yeah.
kind of what her voice was like. You know, you have saved us.
Yeah.
That's kind of how she would talk, and you figure out. I mean, I thought it would be a total. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I thought it would be kind of a total mystery as to where these people come from, but they fully. I mean, well, they don't fully explain it, but they give you a pretty good look into where they're from. And
Yeah.
kind of the why. I mean, they give you about 2 sentences about the why they're there. But all in all, it had some really interesting things. I don't know if this was trying to be a commentary on something. I couldn't really tell if that was going on, but.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like it, but
I didn't.
you couldn't
but what
put
was-
my finger on
But
it.
what was it about? Right? Like,
Yeah.
like cloning, I guess, or something. I don't really know.
Maybe.
Chris, what do you think of this movie? You like it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. I didn't really like it, but I really respected the fact that it was original.
Yes. Yeah.
Big time.
That's one of the best parts of his so far. The 2 movies, which
Yeah.
he has another one coming, I think, pretty soon. But the 2 that he's made so far have both been extremely original.
Yeah, you will definitely not see another movie that's like this at all. So if you're tired of the same old junk, this would definitely be a movie that I would recommend for sure.
Yeah. I mean, anything surprise you about it, or was it what you thought it was going to be?
No, it was pretty predictable.
Yeah.
I thought.
Okay. Yeah, and well, I will say the very end. I don't know that 100%. I mean, there was a twist. We won't talk about what that is. At the very, very end of the movie, there's a twist, and I didn't really see that. Well, originally, I kind of thought, I wonder, and then I kind of had like lost it in the plot of the movie. And then by the time it kind of reveals it there at the very end, I wasn't necessarily ready for it. But it's also interesting because basically every person on Earth has a doppelganger. The other thing is I thought it was just this one family had doppelgangers, but you come to find out that everybody, I guess on Earth or at least in this one city.
I mean, it wasn't explained.
Yeah, at least in this one city, everybody had a doppelganger. And so that was kind of interesting to see the people and to see their doppelgangers also. There was a little bit of, I don't know if funny is the right word, but a little bit of humor, I guess, played off of that in a couple scenes. And this has Offred in it. The same girl from, she's like the terrible wife of the friend. Remember? The girl from, what's her name?
What is her name?
She's coming out in the movie we just talked about.
What movie? Mulan?
No, the scary one that you're excited about. That you have 18 copies of. You have so many copies of. At the theater.
Huh?
You just
Oh,
did.
Invisible Man.
Yeah, Invisible
Invisible
Man.
Man. Yeah, it's that chick. Whatever her name is.
Oh, okay.
She's the friend who gets
That's right. Yes. Yes.
dead. She gets dead.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Well,
It's a nice house.
skinned.
Nice house, though.
yeah, really cool house. Really modern. Really nice. Get Out. I would definitely say that this is worth seeing just because of how original it is. It's interesting, and it has stayed with me. Like, it's one that you don't just see it and forget it. I think you'll see it and
And have nightmares.
I
for the rest of your
definitely,
life.
I definitely would not see it twice. I definitely would not see it twice.
Probably it's one where the effect of watching it is it's a one time and
Yeah,
done. You know, the effect of something new, and then not. Well, some movies, once you know what's coming, it's just never quite the same after that. But definitely interesting. I really like Jordan Peele so far for what he's come. I mean, I think for being such a young director, and for where he came from, when everybody thought he was like Mr. Stupid Joke or whatever back on Key and Peele. I mean, he is obviously a really talented horror filmmaker. So, anyways, check it out. Pretty cool. All right, cool. Let's talk about next week for a minute. Dick, you said you're gonna review Son-in-Law.
Yes, Son-in-Law.
Oh, nice.
Is this the Pauly Shore
The
movie?
Pauly Shore movie.
Is that the one where he calls him like he always calls
Crawl.
him like crap?
No,
Yes,
no.
the dad's always like, "Hey, crap." And he's
Yeah,
like,
so
"Oh,
for some
crawl."
reason, Amazon Prime has several Pauly Shore movies on, and they're
Trying to.
Should we do a Pauly Shore episode?
Bring him
Biodome.
back.
like they have Encino Man, they have Biodome, and
Do you have HBO?
Yes, I do.
You said it's on HBO or
right now, Son-in-Law is on Amazon.
are all those movies on Amazon?
Yeah, they're leaving pretty soon. So,
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Should we do a Pauly Shore? Should we do a Pauly Shore episode? Or are you gonna watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Huh?
I'm gonna try.
Okay, well, never mind. Let's not do that.
Or A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, no, I wanted to check that out because I remember seeing it possibly in theaters. I just remember watching Crawl.
Crap. Hey, crap. So you're going to watch Beautiful Day. You're going to watch that. I have no idea what I'm going to watch. Mystery Box. Put a big question mark by it. Or listeners, give me a suggestion, and I'll try to check out whatever it is you've got to talk about. We don't want you to forget that the ticket giveaway, next week's show, episode 124, we'll have more to talk about. We'll do more movie news. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about Bob Iger, because I did not know that. I tried to read an article while Dick was talking when I totally tuned him out there for a few minutes. And
We do it to each other.
Yeah, well, I know. You went and got coffee earlier. And so it didn't say anything. It's very vague. It's like he just felt like this. He was supposed to retire in like a year anyways. And it's like the time just presented itself. And he felt like this was the right moment to do it with no
Yeah.
notice. Spur of the moment.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And the guy who took his place is also named Bob. Kind of interesting. He had been like,
What's his name? Bob. What?
Bob.
I'm telling you, it's a coronavirus theory.
I just don't think it is.
I think it is.
Let's see. His name is Bob. It's like Bob Campos.
Think about
Bob
it.
Chapek.
Think about what's going to
Bob
happen.
Chapek-Quiddick.
Okay, there's two things to Disney. It's their parks and their movies. So if the coronavirus comes to the United States, you think people are going to go to the parks because there's thousands and thousands of people there? No, they're going to be like, I don't want to get the coronavirus. We're not going out there.
What I would say is don't go to Switzerland right now, because when I went, there was more Asians there than I've ever seen anywhere in my entire life.
Well, there you go.
They are
And that's
currently
just as
mostly-
racist as what he's
It's not
talking
racist.
about.
I'm just saying.
But
They
no,
are the ones
does
who
that make
currently.
sense to you?
I see what
That's
you're saying.
going to happen. It's going to affect
Actually, I
their
told you, I
parks.
just listened to a podcast. He said there was either 3 or 4 parts of Disney. There's the parks, there is the production, and then the toys was a whole nother.
Oh, yeah.
Was a whole nother leg. Nothing will happen there.
No, yeah, they will, because they are all made in China. Because China is going to shut down production in major areas, and they won't have their toys.
So why would he just doesn't want to deal with it? He's just over it.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is he's saving face, because a lot of people, a lot of bigger CEOs, because what ends up happening is if you're a CEO right now and you stay and you lose X amount of dollars from the last year, the next time you try to get a job, people are like, what was this?
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, and then he's like, oh, well, coronavirus. And,
oh yeah, bull crap.
yeah. So, and I that's my guess. Because he makes so much money, so it's not the money.
I think he's probably okay.
I think what it is, it's like an ego.
Yeah.
That's my theory. It's an ego / keeping the
Is he a
future
billionaire,
open.
Bob
I
Iger?
imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, if he gets points on Star Wars
That's all you need.
and all the Star Wars, think about that.
All you need. All right, cool. Let's wrap this bad boy up. Anything else we need to say before we close it out? Nope. Thank you. All right, next week we'll have
Episode
another show.
124 coming next week, Thursday, noon o'clock.
Noon o'clock. Love it when you say noon o'clock. Yeah, unless we do it some other time like we did this morning. Keep you on your toes, Stubbies. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for telling a friend. Smash the subscribe button, right? Obliterate it. Pulverize the subscribe.
And check out
Yeah.
Watch Me Go Broke.
Watch Me Go Broke. Also smash pulverize that. Tell a friend. Hey, if you see our video on Facebook, share it, because we've realized that really helps other people see it and it gets some exposure to it. For Chris, for Dick, my name's Connor.
Yeah,
signing
expose
off.
the Stubbies, guys.
Expose that stub. Signing off on the ticket stub.
This is not a drill.